News Gym Channels. I'm joined by Hall of Fame coach Pete Hayes. And Pete, tonight, what a great matchup we have to open this home season.
I'll tell you what, it's Friday night, it's snowing, it's hockey night in Minnesota. You have two really top-notch teams. The difference this year for Andover is last year they were the hunter, this year they're the hunted.
Yes.
Because when you win that state championship, believe me, everybody's coming after you, and the Moorhead Spuds have come a long ways to try to get after Andover.
Yeah, and actually I had an opportunity to talk to Coach John Ammerman about the amount of travel. We'll talk about that later on. But yes, they have traveled a long way, and they're hungry. They took a stinging loss last year, a double overtime loss in the quarterfinals at the state tournament at the XL Energy Center. In goal today for the Huskies will be Bo Altman. He comes in with a 1-0 record, 3.0 goals against, .919 save percentage against Kai Weigel, one of the top goalies in the state. Comes in with a 1.98 2-1 record and a .940 save percentage. And we're underway here from the Andover Community Center. Weigel behind the net, stops it, sends it over. He's an active goalie. You'll see him moving around quite a bit. That top line comes out for the Huskies. It'll be Conway, Thorson, and Sauer, a freshman. Not very often, Pete, we see a freshman.
No, he's a good one, though. You know, he's a kid we're going to have to watch today. Ryerson's a good player for Moorhead. He has 5 of their 8 goals so far this season.
Ryerson on that top line with Kraft and Ness. And we'll see both of these two top lines. And here comes Ness. Ness with it over to Kraft. Kraft looks across to stick the side by Thorson. That goes out. It was looking for Ryerson, who was coming through on the backside.
Yeah, you're going to see, Jim, and you know more about this than I do, a lot of names that you've heard in the past from Moorhead. You know, Kraft is one of them, and Cullen's on the second line, and there's a few more. Ness, I believe, is a kid whose father played here too. So we're going to hear a lot of old familiar names from the Spuds.
Yes, we certainly are. And Cullen, like you said, Mason Kraft, son of Jeff Kraft, and Brooks Cullen, who's out on the ice right now, number 20. Adds a shot behind the net with a stick put to the side by Weigel. Sent down behind the net, and that's comes up with Baumgartner. Sends it out through neutral. Picked up by the Spuds. Dropped over for Brooks Cullen. Cullen in the corner with Coswell. Back behind is Hatchgarden. Hatchgarden throws it back down deep. Pitching down defensively is Jack Arnold. Jack Arnold's dad, another legacy Spuds, and he played up at UMD back in the mid-90s. So that goes out into the box. He's just kind of feeling each other out.
Yeah, they really are. You know, you're going to try to get some line matchups by Andover. They're number 1 against Moorhead's number 1. See if they can keep them off the board, and I'm sure that Moorhead's fine with that.
Caleb Alderson wins the draw. Coming around is Lindbergh. Lindbergh takes it in right out front. Nice save by Altman. Big rebound given up. Sent to the corner. Now sent down. Picked up by the Huskies, and that was Martin. Casey Martin. Kristen May and Stringfellow back on the blue line. Shot in. Another rebound given up. That goes all the way out. Kept in by Career. And that's for the Spuds. Now picked up by Perry. Perry muscles his way down. We'll have an ice. And we'll send it back down. Good speed on the Spuds. They've always been known for their skating and their physical play, but this year a little bit younger.
Yeah, they have 5 sophomores that are playing, coming off of that state Bantam championship team from last year. And what's really impressive, Jim, they also won the state Pee Wee championship.
So you're saying they're locked and loaded?
I think they are.
Yeah. And that's kind of been the way it has been for a number of years. Matt Cullen, the former Wild and NHL player, was actually coaching Bantams last year. Right out in front, saved by Altman. Skating in was the forward for the Spuds, number 27. And that's Ian Ness. Ness was buzzing around, tried to lift it over Altman. Altman, a nice save, not giving up the rebound.
Yeah, Ness part of that first line with Ryerson and I believe Kraft. Kraft is just a sophomore.
Part of that state championship team. Nice give and go out front. Kraft with a goal. He scores.
Well, that's a big one to get that first one from Moorhead. Long bus ride down here. You're not really sure what the legs are feeling like, but they look like they're feeling pretty good tonight.
He took that pass right out in front, a little give and go. I believe that was Ness down low, and just did a little dangle and went on a backhand around Altman for the goal. So the Spuds score at the 2:30 mark.
Yeah, big goal there by Moorhead coming up with that first tally of the day.
Spuds now on the attack again. That one kind of a change-up, goes right through. And a nice cover-up by Ben Dahl as he covered up the back door. Dahl with it now through center. He's skating with Westman. Passes, drops over to Yell. Yell back behind the net. And rips around, settled by Belisle. Hayden Belisle throws it back down. Nice check. Down there by Yell. Spuds come up with it. Hasgarten dumps it down. They'll do a quick change. Belisle with a couple Spuds. Ben Dahl out to the front, right up to the point. That one's whistled wide.
Yeah, now if you're Andover, you got to make sure that Moorhead doesn't get that second one quick. You got to try to hold them off as long as you possibly can, then get on the board yourself.
And one thing the Huskies have struggled with, 2 out of 3 games, they've been outshot. The first 2 goals. Now here comes Tristan May. May with it, shot covered up, gloved by Weigel.
Well, Weigel squared up really nice in the net there for Moorhead. Saw the puck all the way in, put it into his glove, and he looks solid back there. I know he's a good goaltender for them. They always do have good goaltending up there in Moorhead.
Yes, they do. The Huskies win the draw. They try to pull it back. That's stuck on the half board by the Spuds. Going back on in front. And a nice save again by Weigel.
Yeah,
right there on the doorstep was Crosby Perry, who was all alone. Just couldn't get it past.
Yeah, Perry's not the biggest guy on the ice, but he'll put his nose in the dirty areas, that being in front of the net. Andover's always really good at that, Jim. They get people in front of that goalie all the time.
We saw that a lot last year with Kyle Law, especially on the power play, where he would take up residency out right in front in that low slot area. Spuds trying to get it out of the zone. This is the best offensive zone time. Now the Spuds wrap it down, and that one's deflected into the netting. We'll have a face-off to the left, to the right, or the near side of Altman.
Well, it might take a little bit for Andover to get things going here with Caden Casey. I don't know if we mentioned that he's been out. He's out tonight, and he's one of those top-line guys. So they had to shift their lines around a little bit for tonight's game without Casey in the lineup.
And here's those both top lines. That one's sent around the net. Thorson pops it up with battling with Ness. Kraft throws it through. Nobody home for the Spuds. Taken out by the Huskies. And now Conway tries to get through. Now Thorson comes through. Got somebody out right out front. Can't get past Lindbergh. Garrett Lindbergh takes Thorson hard in the boards. And Jack Arnold now with the defenseman throws it up, and we'll have an ice with 12:10 left in the first period. 1-0 Spuds.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, I looked at the schedule today for Moorhead. They are playing everybody. Everybody. They're going to do a lot of traveling, and they are playing some top-notch teams, and including the top team in Class A, Hermantown, which is never an easy out.
And
Lakeville and Minnetonka and you name it, they're playing them.
Yeah, they get done today and they go down and they're playing Minnetonka tomorrow afternoon. And a normal Spud schedule. They do want to play the best. Ben Dahl now with it for the Huskies. Throws it back down around the net. He's trying to get to Westman. Westman unable to keep it in, and that gets past Yell. Now the Spuds. With it, May hacks at it, kept in again by the Spuds, throwing it back down as Bargain gets it. Now, Tristan May, the defenseman, drops it. Tries to get it through, and that hits a skate and goes back down behind the net. Picked up by Westman, Austin Westman. Not able to keep it in. Spuds now with Fry shot on Altman. Altman with a save in the corner. And Westman tries to get it, and that goes down. The Huskies will make a change.
You know, Andover's going to rely a lot on a couple of defensemen, Stringfeller and May, who saw a lot of ice time for that state championship team. So you're going to see them on the ice a lot here tonight. Another
rebound with a Spud crashing the net. That gets over to the stack. Thorson now not able to get it out of the net. Kept around by Alderson. Alderson tries to get it right out in front. And that one is stolen away by the Huskies. And Cogswell. Cogswell drops it. He'll go take a break. And that one's thrown down. And Tristan May again back out on the ice. Collects it through neutral. Looking down for Babineau. Babineau doing, as Pete would say, the greasy work behind the net. And now collected by the Spuds, trying to get a breakout pass. That one fails to click. May throws it back down. They'll have a quick change. And the Spuds now at neutral. And offside right now, and we'll take a timeout for a drop of the puck. Easy for me to say. 9:56 left. Spuds up 1-0.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim, Altman's had a few shots. The thing is I don't like about him right now is he's leaving those rebounds. He's not really, he's kicking them out, and you don't want to kick them out to the wrong area. And he's kicked a few rebounds out. He's got to try to hold those rebounds in closer to his body where he can cover them up, because Moorhead, they're a team that is very I can't say it, optimistic, and,
yes.
and they'll pounce on those kind of pucks.
I think Coach Manny has taken a timeout. Used his timeout early. And you can see Coach John Ammerman in his 10th year, 192 victories, 88 losses, and 11 ties. One of his trusted assistants is also over there. And right now we have, it is not a timeout, it's actually a TV timeout, and not for us, as you can see with Bali Sports North is here as well as us. We'd like you to stay with us, but Anthony LaPampa along with Kevin Gorg are calling the game.
Do you think we can have one of those?
We've got time to fill. How about that? So we're coming back out, and it'll be Thorson against Ness again. Two top lines back out there. That's put down behind the net. May chases it with Ness on his tail.
Well, every time this line for Moorhead's been out there, they have been dangerous.
Sauer, the freshman, looks out front. Conway with a goal! Cooper Conway scores on a beautiful pass from Thorson.
Yeah, the freshman got that one started going down the right wing. KJ Sauer. Nice pass across. Deposited in the back of the net for the Huskies, and we're at 1-1.
Yeah, what a great answer by the Huskies. That first 3-4 minutes was dominated by the weary-legged and long bus ride Spuds, and this first line answers for the Huskies.
Yeah, and Conway's not the guy you want standing alone in front of the net, because he'll put it away just like he did.
Conway deposited against the boards, and Gavin Thorson tries a quick little shot on glove side. That one goes wide, kept in by Belisle. Belisle throws it back out before it hits the net, and we'll have a face-off to the right of Kai Weigel.
Nice job by Belisle there, showing some good speed to be able to hold that puck in. Unfortunately, it went out of play, and looks like they're keeping those. Andover's going to switch it up here.
The baseball line is on the defense for the Huskies, as Anthony Pardo and Belisle, they're the battery mates for the Husky baseball team.
Yeah, they're both pretty good players too.
Spuds now kept in. That was kept on. Nice shot by Dahl. Ben Dahl, who's got 3 goals so far this season. Not able to get that one through. Held down by Belial. That was stolen away. Yell back behind, backhand pass. Taken away from the Spuds by the Huskies. Now settled by Ryerson. Ryerson gets it through. It is a packed house right now, and everybody on their feet. Tough to find out in the corner in front of us.
I'll tell you what, that was a long shift by Moorhead. Pretty much 2 shifts they put into 1. So that number 1 line, they want to be out on the ice.
So Thorson over to Conway. Tries to thread the needle to Sauer. Comes back. And that one is kept in by Thorson. Again, Thorson to Sauer. Sauer with a shot. Saved by Weichel. And defensively, nice job by the Spuds to get rid of that one.
Well, Manny wanted a little different look. He took his number 1 off when Moorheads were out there. Went with his 2s. They did a nice job. Now he's coming back with his 1 against Moorheads too. So we'll see how this lines up.
Always a tactician is Mark Manny, and they've battled 8 times. The Spuds have it 4. This is the 8th time they've battled. Pass down to Thorson. The stretch pass just failed to click. That one comes back to Sauer, jumps his stick, and Huskies will have to reset. Cogswell. Back to Pardo. Pardo throws it down to a corner. Hustling down there is Larson. And that one's taken away. Coming out is Cullen. Brooks Cullen. He'll dump it down. Cogswell getting chased by a Spud. Spud's forecheck is pretty speedy. They are on that puck behind the net.
I'll tell you what, that Cullen kid, I saw him a summer and a half ago, and he's grown about a foot and a half.
Yeah, that's solid. Up north, they know how to grow them. They water them the right way, and they seem to grow.
Well, I'll tell you, they're a nice-looking team. Andover has weathered the storm, though. You know, yep. Moorhead came out and got that first one. That second one would have been tough to come back from, but Andover responded, and we're tied at 1.
Yeah, you talk about a tough schedule. Andover themselves had a tough schedule as they've taken on Chanhassen in their opener, and then as they beat Chanhassen 6-3, and then took on Minnetonka for their second match of the season. Stringfellow behind the net, kind of bracketed by 3 Spuds, gets it out of the zone. Now Tristan May settles it, getting harassed by this 4th line of Lammers, Simonich, and Wilson. Lite now right out in front. And how did that not get frozen by Altman, as that was just kind of stopped right there out in front of the goal.
Well, both these teams, Jim, are not afraid to go to the net. That's good hockey teams. You get in there and you muck it up, and both of them are going to the net well.
Pass almost intercepted by the Huskies, moving right out in front. And as you mentioned, Alderson was just parked right out in front, waiting for that drop from Ryerson. And offsides.
Yeah, it was close right there. Otherwise, Andover was looking to have the trailer pick that puck up right in the slot area. That would have been dangerous, but the call's outside.
For the defending champion, it's Thorson, Sauer, and Conway out there. Sauer. Gets it. Nice move by Ness. Ness with speed as a nice pad save by Altman. Back to the point. He's swinging a mess, but still throwing back behind. Belial now catches up with it. Kept in by the Spuds. Thorson tries to thread the needle. Sauer. Sauer is tied up by a Spud. Kraft crossing past Ryerson. Ryerson with a snap that goes off the waffle board. And we'll have a face-off far side in the Andover zone.
This is a good line for Moorhead. They have size and they fly. It's Neth, Ryerson, and Kraft, I believe.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them can go.
Good speed, as you mentioned. Ness especially. Kristen May up to Larson. That one gets back. Perry trying to get past the Spud. Lindbergh. Garrett Lindbergh, brother, is playing for the Waterloo Blackhawks with Garrett Shifsky of Andover. Taken by Stringfellow. Stringfellow settles it down. Breakout, and he'll dump it over, and we'll have an ice. With 4:56, 4:46, 1-1 here in the first period. Shots on goal, Spuds 10. The Huskies 5.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, and a few of those shots have come on rebounds. So, like we said, they go to the net well.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there's been a couple of times where they have just had that juicy rebound, and Altman, who's really getting his second start as varsity, just got to settle down and direct those. And we got a penalty coming up. Cogswell's going to go for a trip. Spuds tie it up, and we'll see our first power play. Both teams not good on the power play. 0 for 10 on both teams. And
that kind of surprises me because they have a lot of high-end players on both of these teams. So I'll be interested how they move this around here. I mean, they're going against great competition so far this season, so that makes a little bit of a difference. But
one of the other the penalty kill for the Huskies not at where they're not a large sample size, but they've only at 70% kill rate. So out there for Andover is Thorson, Bendahl, Kristen May, and Stringfellow. That's your penalty kill. The first penalty kill out here. Here comes the Spuds. Lindbergh drops it for Ness. Ness cuts in, throws it wide. And Ryerson's out there as well with Kraft. Here comes Bendahl. Bendahl slows it down. And he just holds on to it, trying to kill precious seconds as we're 1:27 left in the penalty to the Andover Huskies. Ryerson tries to get around. Thorson now gets it. Thorson gets it taken away. Westman now for the Huskies. And now taken by Ryerson. Ryerson circles, ready to get a breakout, gets it up to Kraft. Kraft drops it for the Spuds. He's stopped at the blue line, and they'll have to reset again.
Nice job by Andover meeting Moorhead right at the blue line, not letting them enter that zone unless they want to dump and chase, and they haven't wanted to dump and chase so far.
It'll be Cryer, the captain, will be at the point for the Spuds. Spud shot saved by Altman. Jace Blythe pulled back and ripped it. Altman had clear vision, and like you had mentioned before, giving up rebounds. That one, no rebound.
No, nice job right there by Altman. Jace Blythe coming off that sideboards on his off wing. Big kid. Looks like he goes about 6'3".
Referees are making some adjustments of some in-skating players on the backside.
Important draw here on the power play. Andover winning it last time, but this time Moorhead comes up with the draw.
Blythe again comes in, tries to get out front, and Bendahl saves the day, at least this part of the penalty kill. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty to Cogswell. Here comes Crier circles around, settles it. He's got Blythe. Blythe cycles in, and Kristen May is able to knock it off his hit. Cry again, keeps it back in, throws it back behind the net. Harsberger, the penalty is now expired to the Huskies. Full strength for both sides. Harsberger back down. And he's with Cullen. Cullen battling. Stuck up against the boards. Pasted up against the board. Bendahl along with comes through. Throws it back down to the corner. He's looking for Sauer. Sauer throws it back around. Crosby Perry takes it. Sauer, the big freshman, 6'3" freshman. Nice little pass looking for Perry out front. That hit the side of the net. Ryerson with speed around Cogswell. And we'll have an ice. Just not enough speed. He's pretty fast, but not enough.
You know, interesting little tidbit here. Ryan Carter, who's a big Valley sports guy, his cousin is Crosby Perry. So, yeah.
We've got a lot of cross-sectional folks. Well, right now we're down under 2 minutes, 1:44 left in the first period. We're tied at 1. Ryerson able to get in the zone. Right out in front, and a goal scored by Garrett Lindbergh, the defenseman, cutting right down. He could have cut it like a knife right down the middle and right over the glove of Altman.
Yeah, Lindbergh, one of those AA Bantam state champs. He's just a sophomore. Boy, you take a look at this crew of sophomores, and they're pretty good. And Moorhead's really playing that first line a lot, you know, and you wonder if that's going to take its toll with, you know, Minnetonka coming up again tomorrow. But you know what? You take it one game at a time, right, Jim?
Yeah, you do.
You win this one. You want to beat the defending state champ who knocked you out last year in the state tournament.
And it goes, and as we know, you know, Coach Manny, Coach Barta, both from Moorhead as well. So there's even more bragging rights as they come through. Well, the Spud coaching in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Ossia's coach Dave Prokop as former Spud. So they seem to keep growing from the area code 218. Tristan May with it. Down to a minute and 20 seconds. Looking out front. Yell was right there. That one was stick to side. Ryerson now able to poke check it away. And tried to tattoo Stringfellow. And he was able to get out of it. Yell again looking out for the breakout. Here comes Stringfellow. He's with Babineau. 2-on-1. Shot! Off the tip of the glove of Weigel. And we're down to 40 seconds left in this period. Nice run by Stringfellow.
I like that kid. He can move and made a great defensive play right before that to get the puck away from Moorhead, and then makes a rush and just misses that upper left-hand corner.
Now down to 30 seconds. Taken away by Conway. Conway the goal! Right over the stick side of Weigel. And ties it at 2 with 29 seconds remaining. Cooper Conway.
That's a big one right there. Once again, not the guy you want to have the puck in front of the net, and there he was, staring at the goalie again, and there again he puts it away. Good goal by Andover.
Yes, absolutely. That's his third goal, second of the night, third goal of the season, and I think they call that a finisher.
Yes, he's proven that over the years, that's for sure.
29 seconds left. Thorson comes out. He's with Yell and Sauer for the Huskies. Another big momentum switcher as we get close to the end of the first period.
Well, Andover's responding every time they get behind. Good for them.
Kept in, glove saved by Altman.
Altman had a chance to see that one. There's no screen in front of him. Seems to, when he has that chance to see the puck, he seems to corral it pretty well.
Spud's out shooting 13-6 right now. We got 8 seconds remaining. Most important stat, score is 2-2.
Right, this is a big draw right here, Jim. Don't want to let Moorhead win it, and Andover came away with it.
Tristan May will round out the period as we aspire. Well, two tallies for the Spuds and 2 tallies for Andover. Coach Hayes, we've got a good start, and I'm really looking forward to the second period. What do you think we're going to see?
Well, I think it's going to open up even more. Yeah. I mean, it's a great hockey game. It's 2-2, but you know the feeling out session is over, and it's time to fly now. So it's going to be exciting, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We'll return. We're going to have an interview in about 5 minutes with Hall of Fame announcer for the Spuds, Larry Knutson. He's going to join us for a couple of minutes as he talks about the state of the area code 218 and this rivalry between the Huskies and the Spuds. We'll be back tied at 2 going into the end of the first.
my name is Holly Pounds, and I'm the Director of Organizational Development here at Choice. And at Choice, really, we envision a world in where everybody of all abilities leads happy and fulfilling lives. And the way we help get to that vision is by creating partnerships and programs that enrich people's lives.
Have fun with us!
Choice does a really great job of helping individuals with intellectual disabilities help to live engaging and fulfilling lives in every aspect of their lives through employment and education.
Come exercise with us.
Come work with us.
You know, we have all of these great services, and great services need great employees. So we really want to invite people who are enthusiastic and passionate to come work with us. During this whole pandemic time, of course, we've struggled with our staffing much like other industries, and we're really looking for people who are creative, who are passionate, and who really want to have a fun and a very rewarding work environment to come and work with us.
Thrilled to be working at a Choice because not only do we help the participants that we serve live out their dreams, but Choice does a really great job of helping the employees live up to their full potential and help them engage in things that they're interested in as well.
I'm calm. I'm creative with us.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Hey, welcome back to the Andover Community Center. Score tied right now, 2-2, Andover and the Moorhead Spuds, and I'm joined with Hall of Fame legendary announcer for the Moorhead Spuds, Larry Knutson. He's been doing it a long time up there. One of the best, person I've listened to for, well, a number of years since I was in high school. So
Let's not get too carried away with this right away here.
So your thoughts on the first period of the game so far?
Pretty much like what I had hoped for. You get to this point between two quality teams, you hope that they're both skating well, getting the job done, and I think I saw that in that first period.
Yeah, both teams skating very well. And you kind of expect that both with the two coaches, the Mannies and Ammerman, very good coaches. They really preach the fundamentals.
We talked earlier with head coach John Ammerman and to Mark Manny about how did they learn to coach the game? Where did they learn it from? Both said Terry Shercliffe.
Yes.
That's right on the money right there, and they said that we've been heavily influenced by the way he talked and taught the game.
Yeah. Well, and another Hall of Fame coach with Moorhead for a long time as a head coach, and then as an assistant for Cullen as they went to Cullen as they went through their real birth into the state championship. Now you've been doing this for a long time. How many? You not only do the Moorhead Spuds, but you also do the Concordia Cobbers.
Yes.
And then you're all over the place. How many events do you? How many sporting events do you do a year?
Well, generally, by the time we get done, we're up around that 100 mark, maybe a little bit more, depending on just how many teams make playoffs and how well they do during the playoff season.
Okay. Some of your favorite, you've done some great state championships. What is some of your favorite, like your top two events that you've called for the Spuds?
One of them, I think, would have to be, it came recently. Just in the last outing that the Spuds played against Bemidji, went into overtime.
Okay.
It was a 1-1 game. It was destined to be a 1-1 game, and all of a sudden it was 3-3. And then Jace Blythe came up with a nice pickup of the puck right around the net, worked around behind, and stuffed it in. That's one of those great plays, one of those plays you'll remember for some time because of the way it developed and the way it ended up in how it resulted in the final score. Now, football-wise, that's another thing. It was a couple of years ago. Moorhead and Elk River played in the state quarterfinals at Monticello. Elk River has that dead T offense, and they're playing tomorrow for the state championship. And Elk River just simply was scoring at will. And Moorhead went down into the fourth quarter, down by 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, they're ahead near the end of the game. On the kickoff, you give it back to Elk River, and they throw one pass.
Yeah.
The entire game, one pass, and it's a touchdown pass that wins the game.
Yeah. Well,
and a big score. It was something like 63-60.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that you are saying you are a broken record because that's what Andover has been dealing with, being in the section with Elk River, and they played them twice this year. One where they lost in the sectional final, 51-49. So Elk River always a challenge with football, but you're absolutely right.
And this probably is the highlight of all of the sporting events that we've done, and that is when Moorhead and Elk River played for the section championship in 1994.
Okay.
I think it was. Matt Cullen, who was here today watching his son play, was on that team.
Okay.
And they are tied. They go 1 overtime. They go 2 overtimes. They go to a 4th overtime before Rob Grammer and Matt Cullen team up for the game-winning goal that sends Moorhead into the state tournament. It was incredible.
That's a couple out of it. I think the one you're talking about, the Elk River Elks were actually ranked number 1, and the Spuds were ranked number 3. Correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The sectional championship was probably the state championship.
And there was no doubt about it. And it was played at St. Cloud, and that also added to the hype of the whole thing because it was the first time for such an event in that arena. Yeah. And it's a relatively brand new arena at that time.
Yeah. And you have obviously called some NHLers and some good college players in football, basketball, also hockey. Matt Cullen obviously comes to mind. A lot of Moorhead Spuds return back to Moorhead. We've seen Kraft, we've seen Cullen, Arnold, who played up at UMD. What's the drawback to Moorhead?
It's home. I guess, you can put a certain amount of value on being at home, and I think that does it. And it has always been taught in the right way that if you're once a Spud, always a Spud. That's kind of the general saying.
I've said that many times. Yes, I've said that many times. Hey, Larry, thank you for joining us
it's
on
been my
this.
pleasure.
Yes, absolutely. And the voice of the Spuds, the legendary Hall of Fame, Larry Knutson, and we'll return for second period action right now in about 6 minutes as the Spuds and the Huskies are tied at 2. Larry.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. You bet.
Impact Services, Meals on Wheels and more in Anoka County offers meals throughout all of Anoka County and Champlain. Meals on Wheels provides nutritious hot meals Monday through Friday with weekend options. Who can get Meals on Wheels? We're here for anyone who can benefit from home-delivered meals with a focus on older adults and people with disabilities. Meals on Wheels is great if you could use help cooking or need a break from doing it, you're recovering from an illness or injury, getting out to purchase food is difficult. With your tax-deductible gift to Impact Services, Meals on Wheels, every $5 donated provides a hot, nutritious meal delivered to a neighbor in need in Anoka County and Champlain. Impact Services Meals on Wheels is a volunteer-driven organization. We have meal pickup sites in Anoka, Coon Rapids, East Bethel, Lino Lakes, and Fridley. Please keep in mind that if your company offers volunteer hours, we need drivers. The commitment is as it works for your schedule. It's a great way to spend your lunch. For more information, go to www.impactservicesmn.org.
Do you remember your first bike? Do you remember the excitement and freedom it gave you? Witnessing that joy, or getting a from the heart thank you note from a recipient of one of our bikes is our reward. Bikes for Kids collects bikes donated to us from local bike shops, recycling centers, law enforcement, and individuals. We refurbish these bikes and give them away to kids and others in need who may not be able to afford one, along with a helmet and a bike lock. We do this through churches and other charitable organizations. Recipients of our bikes also include homeless people and even refugees from the war in Ukraine. In continuing our mission, not only do we need bikes to refurbish, but we also need volunteers, along with monetary donations to help with buying parts and other expenses. But hey, if you don't know how to fix a bike, that's no problem. We can train you. But you can also help out cleaning the bikes, pumping up tires, setting up orders, moving bikes, parting out unrepairable bikes, pickup and delivery. Bikes for Kids has been around for 10 years. And last year, we gave away over 3,600 bikes to kids who really appreciated it. Let's keep it going.
They are part of your community. They are your students. They are your teachers. They are your coworker. They are your friends and your family. They are experiencing homelessness. Understanding is the key to the solution. You can help them by giving them the benefit of the doubt, asking them what they need and how you can help them, acknowledging that you see them by sharing a smile. These little things go a long way to be seen and felt understood. They are part of our community and we are part of theirs. Homelessness will not go away without your help. To get help or to give help, visit our website.
Did you receive a call or message that mentioned Social Security and demanded immediate action? Did the caller know your Social Security number or other personal information and tell you that your Social Security number had been used in connection with the crime? Did you feel worried that your Social Security number might be suspended, your bank account might be frozen or seized, or you could be arrested? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, demand your personal information, or instant payment, email or text you pictures or documents, or use a real government official's name to gain your trust. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Do not be fooled. Hang up. Ignore them. Report this criminal activity to the Social Security Administration Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
QCTV is now hiring for part-time associate producers. You can have a blast utilizing top-of-the-line broadcasting equipment, watching live events, and have fun all while being paid to be a part of our team. Production experience doesn't matter here at QCTV. Whether you're a 30-year broadcasting veteran or just starting out, we will make sure that you are equipped to be a part of our high-quality productions. Not sure if you have the time to commit to a fixed schedule? No worries. QCTV utilizes flexible scheduling so that you can pick the shifts that you want to work on. To learn more, please visit our jobs page at qctv.org/jobs. From there, you can learn more about this position, and if interested, submit your application today.
Welcome back to the Andover Community Center. We're ready for second period action. Score tied at 2 between the Spuds and the Huskies. Pete, both teams came out skating well. Both goalies giving up a couple of goals. Not necessarily a good showing, but some tough shots.
Yeah, they were really good goal scorer shots. All four of these goals. The impressive thing that I'm seeing so far is Andover's how they're coming back. You know, they get down, and you don't want to go down by 2 to a team like this. And Conway's come back and scored twice for Andover, and we got a couple of good periods of hockey coming up.
Yes, we do, and we're ready to drop the puck. Both top lines are out there for the Spuds. Ness, Ryerson, and Kraft for the Huskies. Conway with Thorson and Sauer. As we start second, the Spuds outshot the Huskies 13-6. As really the first 4 minutes were a big thing. Ness with speed pulls it up right at the dot, taken away by Stringfellow or by May. The Spuds cycling. Kraft drops it for the defenseman. Nice save as that one kind of came up high on Altman. Jumps on the puck.
Yeah, Altman dropped that one, but got back on top of it. What we haven't seen a whole lot of is it hasn't been a real physical game. No. It's been a skater's game. Yep. Not a whole lot of big hits out there, mucking it up, but both of these teams skate extremely well, so they're playing to their strengths.
Yes, they are. We'll have a face-off. The Spuds keep their starters on. The Huskies change to their second line. Stringfellow whips it around for West, and this is Dahl. Dahl drops it for Tristan May. Tristan May tries to get around Ryerson, can't do it. And that one sends over to the corner. Stringfellow throws it in. No, the Huskies will have to touch up. Stopped by Weigel behind the nets. Spuds get it up to Ryerson, and now Kraft. Kraft pushed off the puck. Actually jousting for it. And Yell comes up with it. He drops it for Westman. Westman and Yell back working together. Will have a penalty. The first penalty of the night.
Yeah, I think
slash.
I have to guess that's going against Moorhead.
Actually, second penalty. First penalty, Mason Kraft will go to the sin bin for 2 minutes, and we'll get to see the Huskies power play.
I'm guessing they're going to move the puck around pretty well.
Well, we've seen that before, and like we mentioned, both teams have not scored a power play goal. Thorson from the point throws it back around. A tough rebound that kind of came off the boards right in front. Weigel was able to push it aside. Taken by the Spuds. As Alderson drops it. That one pulls around. And Ben Dahl now with it. He's with Conway. Thorson is trailing. Tristan May is out there as well. Rolls off his stick, goes to Thorson. Thorson skates around, wrists one right over the head of Weigel. Coswell comes up with it. Tries to get back around, comes right back to him. Glove save. Minute 13 left in the penalty to Kraft.
Well, both of these teams on the penalty kill, they're not afraid to jump into the offensive zone.
No.
It's not like we're just going to ice the puck. If they see that opportunity, they're going to go and see if they can score shorthanded. So I'm guessing both of them are going to score some shorthanded goals this year.
Well, when you skate as well as both these teams do, I think you take the advantage away at times. And Ben Dahl right off tries to come in, and he's lifted away by the Spud. Tristan May out front, and Weigel able to save and jump on that puck.
You know, Tristan May is one of those offensive defensemen that Andover seems to keep coming up with year after year. Yeah. You know, they've always had those offensive defensemen that can skate well, and they have a couple more this year with him and Stringfellow.
Well, May is taking up that spot that Kyle Law had on these penalties, those where he gets right in front of the net, the goalie, and causes some havoc. Conway now behind the net, driven off the puck by the Spuds. That comes up, and a really nice defensive play by the Spuds to get that out of the. Now 36 seconds left. Conway again looking for that hat trick. Circles as you get back around. That one comes through and exited the zone by the Spuds.
Conway showing his speed there, trying to hold him off with one arm. almost got himself back in front of the net there.
Gavin Thorson, who scored the game-winning overtime goal against the Spuds last year, passed right out in front, and that just too far as Hasbargen just couldn't collect it. Here comes Dahl, up to Sauer. Sauer drops it, looks it back to Belisle, keeps it himself. Now cycles back down. Stringfellow with the shot, tries to go right over the stick of Weigel.
That's Sauer. He's not a little 15-year-old, is he?
No, he's listed at 6'3", 175. So
yeah,
big guy is the way to talk about it. You mentioned Jace Blythe, also 6'3".
Yeah, and he can skate, and you put about 25 pounds on that frame in the next couple of years here, and he's going to be a force.
So Crosby, Perry, and Yell out there for the Huskies. That's taken by Ness. Ness drops it back for Kraft. And Ryerson back behind. Ryerson's got 5 goals so far, the leading goal scorer for the Spuds. Yell comes back down. And Perry tries to settle with Ness for the Spuds. That puck comes across. And Freer takes it. And nice work by Yell back in the greasy areas, as Coach likes to say, right?
Yeah, there's a chance by Perry out in front.
Shot and goal! Nice goal by Macklin Yell.
You know, Jim, I was just going to say, I don't know if you like this matchup if you're Andover, that third line against that first line for Moorhead, but those kids came through, Yell and Perry. Nice job, and Andover goes up 3-2. We're 12:40 remaining here in the second period.
Yeah, that goal was really, that offensive opportunity came from Yell's work in the corners.
Absolutely. He played the body. After he played the body, he took the stick away, came up with the puck, got out in front to Perry. Perry took the first shot, and then Yell put in the rebound.
Yeah.
And the Huskies are up.
Yeah, so nice job. One of the state's best goaltenders has now let in three pucks, and that shots on goal differential has changed dramatically in the beginning of the second period. Here comes the Spuds. Spuds skates around, all right, off, big rebound again, and that one handcuffed Altman. Stringfellow passes it over to Martin. Martin right at the blue line, tripped over the dot.
That dot jumps up once in a while. Gotta watch out. Got me a lot.
down with Martin. Martin and Larson for the Huskies working. That one skates up to May. May, that kind of hopped his stick. It was a bouncing puck. Martin sends one just wide. Larson again.
May was pretty excited there. You go, oh my gosh, I got that man. Here we go.
He certainly did. He attacked it with speed. The Spuds are able to get it out of the zone. They needed to change bat. Big hit on the boards. And Blythe able to use that 6'3" frame to punch that puck, and Altman freezes it. We'll have a face-off in the Husky zone.
Well, just like we said, Jim, both of these teams coming out flying. Shots are now 16-11.
Yeah.
So the rubber is flying out there in this period.
Yeah, we're at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Here comes Cooper Conway. He's got Sauer. Sauer with the goal! Good score by the Huskies. What a beautiful pass from Conway.
Wow, he just feathered that thing right over to the freshman, and the freshman knew what to do with it. I'm guessing that kid scored a lot of goals coming up from squirts on up to high school, and I'm sure Andover is really happy to have him.
Yeah, as you can see right there, Gavin Thorson asked for the puck because that's his first varsity goal. But like you said, I'm sure he's a goal scorer. And Sauer with his first goal on a beautiful pass from Conway.
You know, and then he jumps into all the young ladies down in the corner down there, all the 9th grade girls in the corner.
Well, you got to play to your fans. Freer. Chant from the student section as he's a freshman. Huskies come out. That was a pass from Thorson that just missed Conway. Thorson back behind the net. So slippery back there. And that one comes to Kraft, and they're able to push that up. Here comes Westman with a shot that just gets past Weigel with a beautiful save. Thorson tries to get it past now. Taken by Sauer. Sauer out there with Westman. And that puck gets past. Wyersman down, gets it, and can't get there before the puck crosses the end line. That's a 4-2 lead for the Huskies, and another offensive zone with 10:37 left.
Well, that was a big save right there. The Huskies would have been up 5-2 as Westman was in all by himself. He could have put the Huskies up by 3, but big save, and it's still a 2-goal game.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Huskies this period have just come out flying out of the locker room. They have been able to take a good skating team and make them not quite as good.
Well, that next goal is going to be a big one.
Well, a 2-goal lead is always at one. Westman for the Huskies enters the zone. He's a 1-on-3. Now he's got a couple of line mates with him. Yell, the goal scorer for the third goal, throws it back to Ben Dahl. And taken away by Asgarden. That one's dropped. Kind of popped up in the air, landed right behind a couple of Spuds. Another battle in the corner to this third line, being physical. And taken away by the Spuds. Here comes Brooks Cullen. Cullen gets stopped right at the blue line. As Caden Belisle now looks up for Tristan May. Good forecheck. Here comes the Spud. Spuds off the shot as Altman pad saves that one out, and it rolls out to neutral. Yell with another physical check, and we'll have a penalty coming up.
I think it was too many on the ice.
Was it?
By Andover. Andover player jumped off the bench as a
puck came down.
Yeah, and the other Andover player is trying to get into the box and hit him right in the skate. That's my guess.
Well, we have a timeout right now here, and wanted to share some mileage from the Spuds. You had mentioned the Spuds schedule. They're on the road. They're down here a lot. They were here last weekend. On Tuesday, they were in Bemidji, which is a 2.5-hour drive. And on average, the Spuds average 3,700 miles and 60 hours in a bus every year. That is, and they've kept track over the years, but 60 hours in a bus with friends. What a great bonding experience, but my word, that's a lot of miles.
Well, it's almost like you need tutors on the bus during the, and I think, who used to do that is Mike Randolph up at Duluth East. And East is on the road just as much as Moorhead is. And by the way, Mike Randolph is now coaching at St. Thomas Academy.
Yeah,
I thought Mike was done. He was back in my era, and we had some real clashes with Duluth East and Anoka when I was at Anoka, and class guy, but he can't give it up. He's at St. Thomas Academy now.
He was assistant last year there, and now is running the show. They were off to a good start as they had a good win. Their first venture out of 4-1, and I'm forgetting who they played. I know it was a solid opponent.
Well, and now East is struggling a little bit now, and Hermantown's kind of the team up there nowadays.
Yes, it is.
It's a big opportunity here for Moorhead. They got to take advantage of it.
That's both top lines. Weigel way out of the net, and that's collected by the Spuds. Lindbergh. Lindbergh's got one goal already tonight. Slows it down. And we've got this penalty right here. And Thorson out there along with May, Sauer, and Stringfellow. Here comes Jack Arnold.
Once again, Andover doing a nice job at their own blue line, not letting Moorhead get into the zone.
And the forecheck of Thorson, it just continues to keep it rolling. Now Ryerson with speed. He's got Kraft and Ness with him. Drops it. Not there, nobody there, and Martin is able to drop it. He continues to skate hard with Greer, the captain, right around him. Again, great job on this penalty kill by the Huskies.
Yeah, Moorhead might want to think, Jim, about shooting the puck into the zone and going getting it.
Yeah. Ryerson tries to dangle around. Cogswell not able to. Back to Crowd. That one shot right from inside the blue line and vacuumed up nicely by Altman.
Yeah, Moorhead kind of panicking a little bit with the puck there. I think he probably could have held on to that a little bit longer, got some things set up. There really was no traffic in front of the net, and Altman was able to see that puck all the way into his chest.
So we've got 41 seconds remaining in the penalty as the Huskies use a draw, a career. That one comes off. Nice job by Perry. Crosby Perry with the nice poke check as that comes out. Jace Blythe now for the Spuds. Tries to get around. He had a game-winning goal against Bemidji earlier this week in overtime. That one wraps around. Blythe back behind with May. May comes out with it. May wraps it around. And 8 seconds left in the penalty.
Andover jumps right on it, Jim.
Yeah.
They are not sitting in no box.
Nope.
That's not in their vocabulary. Once someone gets the puck, they go get it.
Shot right in on off the, almost looked out, went off the cage by Kasbargen. That one comes around. Funky little carom off the boards that just about went off the back of Weigel into the goal. Weigel fortunate to glove that one.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them come off the boards here at Andover.
Over the years?
Over the years, yeah.
The Huskies know where to shoot it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, out there for the Huskies is Thorson, Sullivan, and Babineau. That one comes back down. Kraft is chasing with Cogswell. Cogswell now up to Babineau. Babineau part of the fourth line with Thorson. Taken away by Ness. Ness, he's got Ryerson and Kraft. Pass out to Ryerson, and that's a save by Altman. Altman with a nice pass save on Ness. Here comes Cogswell, and he's missed a wing. And we've got an offsides. What a nice play by the Spuds on that one. Great save by Altman.
Yeah, all of a sudden here they're coming three abreast, and you look and you see who it is, and it's their top three guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's always that way. That's why they're the top three guys.
Yeah.
They know how to do that. Mistake by an Andover player, and all of a sudden here they came, and that was a nice save there by Altman to keep this a 2-goal game.
Yeah, you can see they have chemistry and some athletic ability. Holy cow. So May now with it, gains his zone. He's got Westman right out in front, Dahl trailing. And Westman comes off. Dahl loses his edge, comes back to Yell, and Yell. We got another penalty coming up. It'll be a trip. And we're at full strength for a very short amount of time. But Easton Lammers will go to the box, the senior.
Well, that puck bounced right out to Westman, and he almost buried it there. He's had a couple of really nice shifts this period. That line's had some nice shifts with Yelly and Westman, and they're doing a nice job here tonight, especially this period.
Yeah, Caden Martin, Perry, and Larson now out there on the power play for the Huskies. May, Conway, and Dahl up front. Thorson and Cogswell back down behind. A little stretch pass, trying to get through, not able to, and then taken away by the Spuds. Here comes Corton. Corton dumps it, and that one hits the net. Will have a face-off. 1:42 remaining in the penalty to the Spuds.
I think it was Cosgrove. He made a nice play. Moorhead was flying a man out of the zone short-handed.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta like that. Love that when a team does that.
Alderson was definitely looking for that stretch pass, and he's going to take the drop against Thorson. Cogswell settles. Now he brings it out. Pass over to Thorson. Thorson throws it back off and just an inch too high as that one hits the top of the glass, goes into the net. We'll have a face-off, 126 remaining in the penalty.
You know, I like how they use May, just like they used Law last year. You know, they got that extra defender out there, so he helps them break it out like any good defenseman would, and then he flies to get up in the play and gets to stand in front of the net. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, and Law was very good at it. Caused havoc out in front. Kristen May out there. So a couple of changes. They're going to pull Thorson out. And Dahl will go in. And actually, we'll pull the Spud skater out now. Pass bargain over there. Here's Conway. Conway with a shot and a goal. That's his third. The Hats will come flying.
Man, he can shoot the puck. It all started, win the draw. Win the draw, D to D. Shot in the back of the net. Nice power play, Andover.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And it stretches that goal. That's the first power play goal. Here comes one hat on. There comes another. Cooper Conway is a marksman. And he's showing off tonight.
I'll tell you what, he had the opportunity there. Draw was one, D to D to Conway. Sitting right out of the top of the circles, and once again, that's not the guy you want looking at you if you're the goalie.
Yeah, he made a couple of strides in towards the net and then just ripped a wrister. So 5-2 now. Huskies have come out in this third period, scored all 3 goals. Spuds trying to regroup. That one kicked aside by Altman. The Andover Huskies have scored the last 4 goals.
Well, and shots on goal are 20-16 in favor of Moorhead. But the scoreboard's all that counts, and it's 5-2 Andover.
That's right. That puck goes into the Huskies bench. 4:59 remaining in the second period. We'll have a face-off on the far side in the Spuds zone. Sauer will take the draw. He's out there with Conway and Thorson.
Scary thing, Jim, is Caden Casey isn't even playing tonight.
Yeah.
That's one of your top forwards.
Absolutely. Stretch pass out off to Kraft. Kraft with Ness crashing the net. That one's taken away nicely by May. Here comes the Huskies. Here's Conway trying to saucer pass it over to Sauer. Sauer gets it, and that one's back out in front. Ryerson now with the Spuds. These are 2 high-flying lines. Comes back out. Horton now. That one's sticked aside by May. Stringfeld with a nice defense. Kraft back to Cryer. Back at the blue line. Back to Kraft. Kraft trying to find some spot. He's able to dump it back to the point. That one goes back around to Ryerson. Ryerson with a backhand looking for Ness. Thorson not able to get it out. That comes over to Stringfellow. Stringfellow sends it back, and that gets out of the zone. And here comes Thorson. Thorson, he's all over the place. And the goal! Beautiful move to the backhand, and the Spuds are down 6-2 with the 4th goal of the period.
I tell you what, you're Coach Manny, you're going, these guys are on my team. I love this.
Yeah, and Weigel, who is one of the state's top goalies, has probably not had a night like this.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andover, has a loss this season. This one's going to really help build their morale going into these next game, and they have some tough ones coming up with Benilde St. Margaret and Rogers, who is loaded this year.
Yeah, Rogers, they're monsters. And you had mentioned that the Maple Grove, that's stolen. Looking out front, saved by Altman. Big rebound right out in front again. And the Spuds start to buzz, taken away by Martin. Martin tries it, and he hits a Spud and kept in. Nice job by Martin. Martin with a goal right onto Weigel, and he saves that one. Good back and forth action right now, Pete.
Yeah, Andover's flying right now. There's blood in the water. And when there's blood in the water, everybody wants to get in on it.
Everybody wants, yes, absolutely.
And, all 3 lines are flying for Andover. right now. I wouldn't have seen this coming after that first period.
Yeah.
Sure seemed like an even matchup, but Moorhead's in desperation right now. They need a goal before the periods.
Yes, they do. Spuds now with Corton right out in front, and that one's taken away again by those second chances. Just don't seem to be there for the Spuds as they were in the first. Tristan May now wrapping it around, trying to get to Yale. Thorson again. Thorson, the last goal scorer, tries to lead it in. Another save. Boy, you mentioned they're buzzing. They are. Westman to over to Thorson, and that one just about clicked for the 7th goal.
Well, Thorson seems to be centering a couple of lines right now because he was just out there with Sullivan and Westman, and that's not his first 2-line partners there. So, but he's making them all look good.
Well, it's easy to do that. You can look good with that guy. He's one heck of a hockey player.
Shots are pretty close right now, 21-19, but Andover with 6 goals on those shots.
Pardo now for the Huskies. He gets pinned up against the board by Kraft. Able to get through. Yell. Nice little pass out to Babineau. Taken by Dahl. Dahl back over to Babineau. And taken down was Dahl. Ryerson now waiting for a couple of line mates. And that one taken away. Throwing back. Ryerson back down. Cycles back down. And 2 Spuds run into each other.
You just have to keep your composure right now if you're both of these teams. Moorhead cannot afford to put Andover on the power play.
Absolutely not. Ryerson now with a shot. That's off the glove of Altman. Huskies. Now try to get around. Stringfeld loses. Settled back down by the Huskies. That one hits the stick of Kraft. And Yell now. Yell has had just a great second period. Here goes the Kraft. Kraft tries a backhand. That one's saved by Altman. Here comes Ben Dahl. Dahl with with Babineau, and that one back down. Here comes the Spud. Back and forth again. Save. That one ran right into the midsection.
Well, Altman's been a different maker this period. He's made some really nice saves, and Andover's trying to get off the ice, and they almost got caught there a couple of times. Couldn't get their defenseman off the ice.
6-2 right now. Minute 28 left in the second period. Huskies trying to finish out this period with a strong last minute and a half. The Spuds has some desperation, and they're throwing it down, and we'll have an ice. Tristan May collects the puck. Martin, Westman, and Gunderson out there or Gorowski out there for the Spuds, and they'll switch it up. Top line will come back out.
Yeah, there's going to be time to play that line if this score continues, but you do not want Moorhead to get a goal here late in the period.
No, and anytime that you get that 4th line out there, I tell you what, against a good skating team like this, helps out later in the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lite tries to get it through. He's able to reconnect with the puck. Now Alderson out front. He was looking for Carlson. Carlson unable to get it past. And here comes May. Throws it back. Taken by Thorson. Thorson. Oh, and Sauer missed his second goal, and a beautiful pass from May. 35 seconds left. Thorson looked like he was hooked on that. No call.
Yeah, the freshman went down to a knee. It was kind of the Krill Kaprizov right there. And he almost got it. His eyes got big when he saw how open that net was.
Sauer's saucer eyes.
Saucer eyes is Sauer. His first high school goal tonight of many, I'm sure, here in the Andover Arena.
So the Huskies trying to finish out this period. 22 seconds left. able to get it out. Spuds will give chase. And Westman, who has shown off his speed and his tenacity with this third line, gives his Spuds a little trouble on that forecheck. Spuds going back around. That one's hit by Pad out to the corner. Another Pad save. Big rebound. Nobody around for the Spuds. And that ends it. What a period for the Spuds, or for the Huskies, as they score 4 goals. Cooper Conway leading the way with a hat trick so far. Freshman Sauer with a goal, Yell with the goal, and Gavin Thorson. Coach, coming out of this second period, the Spuds and the Huskies really look good.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when Andover got that first goal to go up 3-2, they just turned it up another notch, and another notch, and another notch, and right now they are dominating Moorhead. Shots are 25-20 for Moorhead, but Moorhead throws the puck from anywhere they get it. You know, that's most northern teams. They say throw that puck on net, see what happens, so that might have something to do with that, but really impressed with the way that the Huskies are playing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll return. We're going to have an interview with baseball coach, Andover baseball coach Pete Anderson on the break. We'll be back for that interview, and once again, score 6-2 at the end of the second period. Thanks again for joining us on QCTV.
Well, my name is Holly Pounds, and I'm the Director of Organizational Development here at Choice. And at Choice, really, we envision a world in where everybody of all abilities leads happy and fulfilling lives. And the way we help get to that vision is by creating partnerships and programs that enrich people's lives.
Have fun with us!
Choice does a really great job of helping individuals with intellectual disabilities help to live engaging and fulfilling lives in every aspect of their lives through employment and education.
Come exercise with us.
Come work with us.
You know, we have all of these great services, and great services need great employees. So we really want to invite people who are enthusiastic and passionate to come work with us. During this whole pandemic time, of course, we've struggled with our staffing much like other industries, and we're really looking for people who are creative, who are passionate, and who really want to have a fun and a very rewarding work environment to come and work with us.
Thrilled to be working at a Choice, because not only do we help the participants that we serve live out their dreams, but Choice does a really great job of helping the employees live up to their full potential and help them engage in things that they're interested in as well.
I'm calm. I'm creative with us.
What is dementia? Is it the same as Alzheimer's? What is vascular dementia, Lewy body, FTD, TBI, and CTE? If someone has memory loss, does that mean they have dementia? Millions of Americans ask these questions every day. I did too, and I learned. My wife Ginny developed dementia. I didn't know what to do or what was coming next. I'm Kevin Jameson, volunteer and president of the Dementia Society of America. I'm excited to offer you a free guide to understanding dementia. It's filled with facts about dementia, care planning, how doctors can help, and ways to keep your brain as healthy as possible. The Dementia Society of America is a national nonprofit, and we're ready to answer your questions. You want to live life to the fullest. I know that. Ginny did too, and I'm confident that we can help. Get your copy of the guide. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Thanks and welcome back for the second intermission. Huskies up 6-2. I'm joined by head coach Pete Anderson for the Huskies baseball team. He's entering his 5th year. 2 successful campaigns as he's made it to the state tournament. The last 2, 2021 3rd place last year. Not quite as successful, but still making it through this tough section. Pretty solid. What's how's your summer going? How'd your fall go? And when do you start ramping up?
You know, I should say that I worked a lot on baseball. Since we didn't do that great in the state tournament, but I put a lot of focus into the football season this year. I coach football here at Andover as well, and been a member of that staff for about 12 years now. So that took up a lot of my time, but we're just kind of starting to ramp things up. We're starting to get some off-season workouts ready, open up the facilities for the players and get them in, kind of get them acclimated, get them throwing. Nothing too strenuous or anything like that, but just give them an outlet to come out and get some swings in, get some reps in.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and this year, obviously, coming into your 5th year, you've got great experience. You've lost a couple of big bats, as Kyle Law, who is now with NDSU, and you've got a couple of other impact seniors that are gone. What are you looking for coming up with the experience that you've got coming back?
I mean, we've done this 2 years in a row. So I'll say going into last year, I had a lot of the same questions, and I'm a little. I guess a little bit more confident that we can just kind of make things work and find the right pieces to fill in behind some of the seniors that we lost. And we lost our entire outfield. We lost some key contributors throughout the team from last year. But we've got some returning people as well. Josh Novak has been a stalwart for us in the pitching staff for 2 years, and he's coming back. We've got one more year out of him. Colin Anderson kind of jumped onto the scene for us last year. He's coming back. We've got a kid that pitched for us in the state tournament as a freshman who really didn't get to do anything for us because of an injury, so he'll be back next year. So, yeah, we've got a lot of holes. We've got a lot of questions to answer, but at the same time, we've got enough of those questions answered that makes us feel a little bit confident that we can make things work.
Good. Tonight, as far as the Huskies, now you're calling the game. We've got a multitude of streaming services here tonight, and obviously most people are probably listening to your broadcast, I would imagine. But anyway, you get a chance to call a couple of your players. You've got Caden Belisle out there. You've got Anthony Pardo. How does it feel? I mean, is there a little more warmth as you get the chance to see a couple of your players out on the ice?
I think I'm a little bit over it on that side. Maybe I don't call it professionalism, call it what you will. I do know one of the first years that I started doing this, and whether it was a baseball player, it was a football player that I had a really good connection with. I'd get a little bit more amped when they had an opportunity or things like that. But no, it's all business, and I support those guys, whether they're baseball players, football players, lacrosse players. It doesn't matter. It's fun to see Andover players, Andover athletes coming out here and putting on a good show. We've got a great crowd here tonight, and really kind of stepping up to this stage.
Absolutely. So we'll see you back on the baseball. The second winningest coach in Andover high school history, Pete Anderson. And Pete, thanks for joining us. We'll be back for third period action. The Huskies up 6-2 on the Spuds.
We are here today with Joe McKenzie with Cars for Neighbors. And Joe, can you tell us some more about the history of Cars for Neighbors for our viewers out there?
Absolutely. Cars for Neighbors was founded 22 years ago in Anoka County by 4 Anoka County residents that were working in the community, in the churches, in the social services, as the business community. They recognized that getting from point A to B in a car that's how people were able to move forward in their lives. So they knew the importance of finding a nonprofit that could help repair vehicles for people that couldn't afford to repair their vehicles.
Gotcha. And is a nonprofit like Cars for Neighbors, is that still essential today as much as it was in the year 2000?
Absolutely. 93% of people in Minnesota use a personal vehicle to get from point A to B every day. That's 93%.
That's quite a lot of people.
When you realize you have to get to work or take your elders to appointments or your children, Yes, Cars for Neighbors is as essential today as it was founded 22 years ago.
Speaking of that help, what sort of impact does Cars for Neighbors have on the Anoka County family?
I speak all over Anoka County, and I break it down this way. A car repair is our daily activity, but the outcome of that repair is economic opportunity, economic mobility, and economic empowerment. That person now can make decisions for themselves. And so we break it down to that simple approach. And when you start to think about it, that's what those repairs do.
Of course, because I mean, yes, we have a wonderful, bus and train system here, but the buses run on a certain time, and emergencies don't happen on a time schedule. So really, having that car is essential, and it's wonderful the work that Cars for Neighbors does. And so those repairs that you're making, what are you seeing in regards to vehicle repair? I mean, the technology is always changing, something's always kind of breaking. What kind of goes into fixing those cars and getting people moving around town?
Well, first and foremost, we take a safety approach. We want to make sure everybody is moving around in safe vehicles, from good brakes to good tires to good suspension with our car care partner in Ham Lake, Meineke. We focus on the safety aspects of it because we all share the roads. But 6 months out of the year, it seems that those roads that we have are winter, and we got to make sure that we can all move about safely. But that also just gives people the confidence to be able to keep a job, look for a job, enroll their children into activities, or be able to volunteer for their elders. That's why it's so important to approach it with safety and just a safe running vehicle.
Of course. And if somebody's watching this program and they say, well, gosh, I could really use some help, or maybe somebody is looking for ways that they can help, where can they get some more information?
Just simply go to carsforneighbors.org. Everything up there you need to know in regards to our services and some of our guidelines, but also share that with people you know in your communities, in your faith organizations, in your families. It's important that we reach all four corners of Anoka County with this type of service, because together we can rally, we can keep everybody moving forward in their lives safely, and just doing what they're supposed to do in their lives in regards to their work and their families, and just being part of that community.
Fantastic. Joe, thank you so much for coming into our studio and telling us all about that. What's that website one more time?
That is carsforneighbors.org.
Alrighty, you heard it here, carsforneighbors.org, and if you'd like to help out, or maybe you need some help yourself, make sure you check it out.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
On any given night in Minnesota, 6,000 young people are without a home. They're sleeping in their cars, couch hopping, or struggling to survive on the streets. Hope for Youth is a 501c3 nonprofit organization in Anoka County that helps young people ages 16 to 24 who are experiencing homelessness in the northern Twin Cities metro area. Who is Hope for Youth? Hope for Youth helps young people find safe and stable housing. Hope for Youth meets young people where they are in the community with real-time assistance. Hope for Youth collaborates with community service providers whose mission is also to support homelessness prevention. Hope for Youth assists young people with education and employment opportunities that create career pathways. Hope for Youth's mission is providing pathways to end youth homelessness. Our vision is to have all youth feel safe, valued, and supported while reaching their full potential. Thank you to those who have supported our mission with your time, your talent, testimony, and treasure. Please connect with us if you'd like to volunteer, donate items, or make a financial contribution. Your investment is changing lives. Connect with us through our website at hopeforyouthmn.org, or simply call us at 763-323-2066.
QCTV is now hiring for part-time associate producers. You can
Andover Community Center for third period action. The Huskies come out of the locker room with a 4-goal lead, 6-2, 17 minutes left. I'm Jim Childs. Thank you for joining us on this QCTV presentation. I'm joined with Hall of Fame coach Pete Hayes. Pete, you know, you've come out, the Spuds have a game tomorrow, we mentioned before. How do you keep them interested in this one and not lose it for tomorrow?
Well, you know what? Like we said earlier, they've had a state Bantam championship. Those kids know how to win. That first line, those upper class kids, they know how to win. You know, they're not going to quit. You know, there's no quitting Moorhead hockey. So Andover's got to be smart, get that puck in deep, go to work, kill some time. But you give Moorhead a goal, and all of a sudden they're going to be coming after you. So This game's far from being over. You know, if it was a lesser team, you'd say it's done. But Moorhead's a good quality team. So Andover's got to keep playing their game.
Absolutely. Coming out both of the top lines who have been electric. Sauer versus Ness on the drop. That's taken one by Sauer. He dumps it down. Tristan May dumps it down. Weigel will hold it and whip it around. Looking at Thorson. Comes right out to Thorson. Thorson with a shot over to Sauer. And right there is Conway with his 4th goal. 13 seconds into the period.
Wow, Thorson, he kind of baited Moorhead there. He sat and waited, and he kind of jumped into that hole where the puck was coming, got it over to Conway, and like I said, there's him and the goalie again, and Conway said, I'm going to put this one back in the twine. This is easy.
Yeah, well, Sauer right there rifled it on Weigel. Weigel came right over to Conway, and Conway came into the game with 1 goal, 1 assist. And now he's leading with 5 goals, and that hits up into the rafters, bounces around a little bit, and we'll have a face-off.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it could get a lot easier if Andover scores another goal, because the clock will start running.
Yeah, you're right.
And who would have ever thought that?
Yeah, well, you know, if you think about it, last year the Spuds on their home ice at Moorhead Sports Center, they took it to the Huskies. They beat the Huskies 6-1. And this is a little payback as both hitting going on. Referee, the linesman went down, and two other went down.
Yeah, I hope things don't get a little chippy here. You know, when you get behind it, you have a tendency to start getting chippy. So hopefully Moorhead keeps their heads.
Here's Conway looking for his 5th. Sauer out front, missed the pass as on the back door was Thorson. May with it, that goes off the back boards, comes up. Ryerson over to Ness. Ness able to come through. Kraft drops it, and now taken by Thorson. Thorson goes into the boards hard.
Yeah, great start by Andover.
Yes, Andover kind of took the wind out. Here comes Stringfellow, 1-on-3. He's going to hold, wait for a couple line mates, and Moorhead's able to, well, thought we're able to get it, throw it back on net right into the center. Here comes the Spuds. Hasbargen with a shot. That one goes wide, comes back, settled by Corton. Corton loses it, and Spuds get it. Coswell right there. Now the Spuds get it. That one kind of comes around, throwing back on. Glove save, easy. Easy peasy for Altman. Altman, after that first period, has really looked outstanding. You had mentioned the rebounds given up. He's really limited those.
Yeah, he really has, and there's been some long shots, and those are the ones that usually there's rebounds on, but he's done a great job controlling the rebounds, doing much better job here.
Huskies win the puck, and that's taken back by the Spuds. This 4th line for the Spuds. Looking around, Lammers trying to take it. That's intercepted right out front by Blythe. He throws it back down. Cogswell throws it around. Wilson, Colin Wilson loses it. And the Huskies gain control, but that one's poke checked away. Long pass for Yell. Yell was just a little too far on that one.
Yeah, Andover's not backing down at all. They're keeping their foot on the pedal and seeing what they can do here and see if they can get it going to running time here. Shots are 26-22 in favor of Moorhead.
Yeah, this Spuds team obviously some good sophomores. That one comes back behind the net. Some first-year players for the Spuds that will gain some experience, but like you mentioned, they're kind of loaded, locked and loaded for the next couple of years.
Well, then they're going to be going up against a Minnetonka team next that beat Andover.
Yeah.
Am I correct on that?
They will. They're taking on Minnetonka tomorrow. And you got to remember, these are 15, 16-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids student athletes who they can have bad nights.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll all go to bed tonight in the hotel.
Yeah.
I remember too many road trips.
Here comes Perry. Perry for the Huskies. Oh, taken into the barge by the Spuds, picking up by Ness. Ness comes out of it, drops for Blythe. Blythe and Ness working together. Hard hit against the boards. Ryerson tries to keep it in. That's kept in by the Spuds. Skating in and pinching in is the defenseman. That one rings the board and comes out. Lindbergh with the Spuds. Over to Ryerson. Ryerson to an open wing as they were making a change. Altman gets an easy save. Cogswell. That's intercepted by Ryerson. Ryerson with the shot that goes off the shoulder of Altman. Throws it back down around and picked up by the Huskies. Lindbergh. And Conway's buzzing, looking for goal number 5.
Man, he almost had that thing behind the defense in all by himself again. It's finding his stick tonight, Jim.
Yeah, it really is. Thorson coming out. He's with Westman. That one rolls off his stick and Kraft grabs it. Kraft with Ryerson. And that one, Thorson was just waiting, picks the pocket of Kraft, now up to Westman. And now back to May, and Westman kind of gets tied up by the Spuds defense. Pitch up to Ryerson. Ryerson, he's stonewalled by the Huskies right at the blue line and throws it back down. Weigel try to get it, stops it. Spuds try to break it out, and they're just some puck play. Here comes the Spuds. That one was poke checked away. Yell up to Larson. Larson with Dahl. And the Spuds had the answer.
You know, Conway has most of the goals tonight here for Andover, but they're showing some good depth. I mean, I'm noticing quite a few different players out there for Andover that have been looking pretty impressive.
Yeah, and here comes the Perry, and he tries to get around Career, the captain for the Spuds. It's slowed down by default.
I think you're going to be seeing some of Andover's fourth line here as the game goes on.
And that will be offsides. Yeah, you had mentioned the Huskies lines coming in. The top line had 4 goals, and then Ben Dahl had 3 on the second line, but he had played up a little bit, and then other than that, only 2 goals beyond that. So the scoring's kind of equaling out a little bit as we've seen a couple of other Huskies get to some scoring tonight. Bell is one of them. Here comes Westman. Westman with Bob Tabineau. And he looks out in front. Nice pass, but just a little bit too far for Babineau.
Yeah, Westman, that kid works. He's got some speed for Andover.
Certainly does. That one's thrown out. That's taken away by Westman. Now up to Babineau. He's got Sullivan with him. Now dropped perfectly. May all by himself. Trying to hold on to the puck and still keeps it. Nice job by Tristan May. Good work behind the net as they complete the line change.
Yeah, Tristan May's kind of taking on that Kaiser role where he gets that puck and he goes, and he's a really good skater.
Yes, he is. Another former Husky playing in Division I for UMD, who's had a great season so far.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Kaisers around.
No, certainly not. And his sister, Maddie, now playing for the Gophers. Sauer, the freshman, chases career, the captain for the Spuds. That one just can't get it out. They're really clogging up those passing lanes.
Yeah,
But
Moorhead getting a few opportunities. Here's one right
Blythe,
here.
yeah, Blythe with a shot over the net. Altman, you can see Altman gained confidence as he goes. Spuds try to get it around. Still skating hard are the Moorhead Spud over to Ryerson. Ryerson surveys the ice and then pinned up against the board by Cogswell. That one's throwing through traffic. Ness now settles it for the Spuds. Gets it back to Kraft. Kraft circling with his backhand, keeps it there, and then he drops a saucer pass over to the defenseman, back to Ryerson behind the net. Kraft again gains it. The sophomore from Moorhead, back to Ryerson. And Cogswell now with the puck for the Huskies. Long stretch pass up looking for Yell, who was just outside of his reach.
Yeah, that first line for Moorhead, they're getting a little bit frustrated. You know, they scored that goal right off the bat, but we haven't heard a whole lot from them lately.
Absolutely not. And see right there, Yell or May and Ryerson going at it. Again, pinned up against the board. May has really done nice on that defense against this top line. Drops it back for Garrett Lindbergh, and he throws it packed in there. Just by a couple of inches, it's an ice. We've got 8:24 in this third period. 7-2, the Huskies are over the Spuds in a surprising fashion. We'll have a break in the action with a quick timeout. Coach, as you start looking at, you said you looked at the schedules coming up for the Spuds, and they travel to Minnetonka tomorrow, and then next week they drive up to Roseau. So they were in Bemidji on Tuesday, cities this weekend, in Andover and Minnetonka, and then you drive up to Roseau. That kind of murders row, isn't it?
That's for sure, but there's no other hockey town like Roseau. Roseau and Warroad. I'm sure Warroad would say that they're hockey town USA, but been up in that Roseau and Warroad area, and you know, it's a fun place to go and play hockey. That's the nice thing, Jim, this Moorhead team. Yeah, you travel, but you're going to go into venues that are full of people. I mean, that's what you do. That's what you live for, is to go into a full arena and play hockey and get booed at, and, you know, that's fun.
Yes,
as a player and a coach.
Yeah, and, you know, there is not, you're right, the hockey town of Roseau, the fans come out, absolutely come out, and it's a lot of fun. And then they will travel, they'll have their first home game. Buffalo will come to the Moorhead Sports Center, and then they've got 4 trips. They'll play STMA, the Diana, Lakeville North, and St. Thomas Academy.
Wow. Yeah.
Top 10, top 10, top 10, top 10.
And then I think Hermantown's down the line there a little bit, too.
I'm sure, I'm sure Duluth East. For the Spuds, they're going to come back with the Benilde Margaret and Rogers this next week. So doesn't get any easier for the Spuds either, or for the Huskies either.
No, it does not. That Rogers they're loaded this year.
Yeah, and with good young talent. They've got 5 sophomores that all could be Division I athletes. The Spuds throw it down into the puck, goes off one of the coaches.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise right there. Might have got the head coach.
Yeah. Manny comes up from underneath the bench.
That didn't hurt him. He just wanted to get on TV.
He had a lot. He had a lot of that last year with
yes, he did.
Being part of that championship team, and he's not someone that really relishes that spotlight, but was kind of the media darling.
Well, being a Moorhead kid, this has got to be big for him, right?
Yeah, absolutely, it is. And you know, beating the Spuds is one thing. There's a lot of pride with that. But winning the championship last year, I think, meant a lot. Not only being the coach of the Huskies, but living through 8 championships as the Spuds have and not winning, and then finally coming out on top really meant a lot to Coach Barda and Coach Manning.
Yeah, once you get that first one, it kind of gets the monkey off your back.
Yeah.
And everything else is frosting on the cake.
Now the Spuds team has been, here it's taken by Sauer. Sauer again right into the glove of Weigel. The Spuds have been to the sectional final. Good job by Thorson to get Conway away from any trouble. I mean, that's good leadership right there, don't you think, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. You got a 7-2 game. You sure don't need to get into anything. You got a big game coming up this next week against Benilde St. Margaret's, and you don't want to lose your top goal scorer.
Absolutely not. Blythe for Moorhead now throws it up, and that one goes off, and now Thorson so good in traffic, able to get around. Nobody home and back to the point. Cogswell now over to Belial. We'll have a penalty now on the Huskies for interference. Thorson will go to the box. The top penalty killer. 6:54 left on this third period, and thank you again for joining us on QCTV.
Andover's getting a little bit close, 27-24 in shots right now. So, well, after that first period, I think it was like what, 12-6 or something like that.
13-6. You're absolutely right. So Thorson goes to the box for interference. This will be the third power play for the Spuds. 0 for 2 so far, and we'll have another penalty coming on the Spuds. That will equal things up. As we have a roughing call going to the Spuds number 4.
You know, I think it was a good call, but I always hated that, Jim, when the play was right in front of one official in the corner, and the guy that's 20 yards away makes that
the call. Yes.
You know, I remember talking to officials. They had me come in and talk to the official association once, and I said that was my pet peeve, you know. But sometimes I guess that angle they have a better opportunity to see than others. So we'll go with that.
Yeah, you know, it's you wonder if the other official ever feels
right.
What do you see that I didn't see?
Yes.
On-way pass over, looking for Stringfellow. That one goes wild. 4-on-4 for the next minute and 30 seconds, then a 10-second power play for the Huskies. Out there right now is May, Stringfellow, Conway, and Dahl. That one comes up to Ryerson. Good skaters out there for both teams. Ness and Ryerson up front for the Spuds. Pryor and Arnold back on the line. We'll have icing. We'll go back down. Both teams straight up 6 minutes. 106 remaining in the penalty to Thorson.
It's always fun watching 4-on-4 hockey.
Oh, it is.
And it's just
Opens
like
it up.
the NHL 3-on-3. That's magnificent.
Yeah. The strategy that's involved, and really the skating. You really get to see just how good these skaters are, and especially with these two teams. Open it up. Yell will come in for the Huskies to take the draw. And he comes up with the puck over to Perry. Back to Yell now. Yell will dump it down. Cosby Perry will chase around. Spud's able to pick it up now and take it away again by Yell. Yell's had a great night tonight.
Yeah,
he's been all over the place.
Yeah, he's been very physical too.
That third line is really becoming that third line. Perry and Pardo and Belial back on the line again. Here comes Perry. Perry looking for Yell. Yell not there, taken away by the Spuds. Spuds come up and taken away by May. That one was a snipe that just went through the crease and back behind the net.
There's that big rebound kicking out there.
Yep.
Kind of pushed that blocker pad out.
Stringfellow throws it back up to Yell. Yell will just dump it down. The penalty is expired to Thorson. We'll have a short power play for the Huskies. 2 seconds left in that, and we'll be back at full strength. Shots 24-28 in favor of the Spuds. 4:36 remaining, most importantly. And here comes Conway. Conway with another shot. That one comes off. A rebound right out front. No Husky available. Taken by the Spuds.
Well, 28 shots on Ben Altman. He's stood up real well for Andover.
Conway turns, looking back at the point. That's kept in by Cogswell, throwing back down behind the net. Goes over to Sauer. CJ Sauer with that. Now the Spuds come up with it. Here's Cullen. Cullen wraps it around. Pass out front. Nobody open wing on that. Thorson grabs it. Thorson's had a lot of ice time tonight. And here's where Cogswell comes. He's up to Conway. A little give and go taken away as Brooks Cullen with the puck. Come down, Tristan May backs to Cogswell. Cogswell, 3:36 remaining in the third period. Cogswell throws it down, and that one's saved by Weigel. Drops the puck up. Big hit by Sullivan. Sullivan with a nice solid hit off the puck. Comes the Spud again, and that one's shot wide.
Yeah, both these teams keep playing hard. You gotta like that as a coach.
Absolutely. And here comes Joey Simonich over the, and that comes on to Sullivan's stick. He puts it in. 2:55, 7-2 Huskies. Only goal scored this period is by the Huskies. And as you'd mentioned, we're starting to see that third and fourth line getting quite a bit of ice time right now.
Yeah, good idea for Moorhead too with another big game tomorrow. You want to make sure that you have some legs left for that game against a really tough Minnetonka team.
Saved by Altman. Altman really honestly has been, it was shaky coming out, and as you had mentioned. And coming out of the gates, gave up a quick goal to the Spuds 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the first period. And really since then he's just shut the door.
Yeah, he really has. Controlling his rebounds a little bit better. Made a couple of A1 saves. So nice job by the Andover keeper.
That one comes back around as Larson tries to break out. Spuds right there, keep it in. And poke checked away. That puck was bouncing around in between four Huskies. Right at the their hand pass right there. I believe it was. I think we saw a hand pass. We'll go down.
Yeah, they're going to go all the way to the other end. Larson getting a few shifts out there for Andover. Evan Larson, junior forward. You know, that's a nice thing playing on a team like Andover. Your fourth line's going to see some action because there's going to be games like this.
Absolutely. Not expected tonight against the Spuds. Both top lines back out there. Conway with 4 goals tries to wrap around looking for Thorson. And now taken away by Ryerson, but taken back. Here's Thorson again. Thorson! That went wide. Thorson skates it off again. He's down there with Sauer and Conway. Conway comes up with it. Tries a backdoor pass. Blind pass, nobody home.
I love that backdoor pass. When it works, it looks sweet.
Yeah, nothing you can do. Mason Kraft for the Spuds. He stood up as he gets inside the circle. Thorson and Ryerson going after each other. Both of them familiar from last year's state tournament. It'll go down to Ian Ness. 1:30 remaining here in the third period. Huskies change up. Babineau out there with Yell. Cooper Conway still on the ice. Pardo now drops it down. Lindbergh now for the Spuds, tries to get it up to Cullen. Drops it, and here comes Sullivan. 1 minute remaining now in the third period. And Yell out there with Sullivan and Babineau. Babineau gets the puck, keeps it rolling. He's with Sullivan, tries to drop the pass out right inside the circle, saved by Weigel. You see the body language of Ty Weigel. Definitely frustrated with tonight.
Yeah, he'll have better nights, but you know what? A lot of those goals were not his fault. He didn't have much of a chance on a lot of them, and especially the ones that Cooper scored. He was all alone in front on 3 of the 4.
22. It comes in with a record of 22-6-1. We'll have a penalty coming up to the Huskies here with 34 seconds left. Huskies again will be in action back here coming up against the Benilde St. Margaret on Tuesday, and on Thursday Rogers comes to town as they start their Northwest Suburban action. They'll be heading off to Champlin Park and then Wayzata. So doesn't get much easier for the Huskies as well. Down to 25 seconds, 4th power play for the Spuds. 0 for 3 so far. Drop back. Freer drops it over to Ryerson, or to Blythe. Blythe, nobody knew where the puck was for a second. It kind of just stuck there. 4 seconds remaining. And the Huskies with a nice win over a tough Moorhead Spud team, 7-2. Coach Cooper Conway was the story tonight, 4 goals.
Yeah, he sure was, and he found himself in some good position to score goals, and when he got those opportunities, he put them away. Caden Casey didn't play tonight. He's only going to make them stronger, so a great outing by the Andover Huskies tonight. And Moorhead, they'll try to be better tomorrow against Minnetonka.
Yeah, absolutely. Moorhead falls to 2-2. The Huskies move to 3-1. Once again, they'll be back in action Tuesday here at the Andover Community Center against Benilde St. Margaret. And we want to thank you for joining us here tonight on the QCTV presentation. My name is Jim Childs for Pete Hayes and all the staff at QCTV that helped out with the production, including Ryan Munch back at the Love Ship Covenant, I guess. I don't know, is that what do we call QCTV headquarters? And we appreciate you being part of tonight's game. And once again, the Huskies 7-2 over the Spuds. Have a great night.